Hi, my name is Jocelyn, and this is the introductory element to a 4-part series brought to you by the Roasters, Roasting Fair Trade. This series will be working to unpack fair trade within the coffee industry. Coffee is a beverage that is known to link people together from various backgrounds and demographics. When you think of this beverage, whether it be warm, cold, bitter, or sugary, you may be filled with an array of emotions and memories. Although many share this beverage in common, the industry that it lies within has many corrupt components that are becoming more apparent today. In light of this, many companies have taken it upon themselves to become a brand based on an organization named Fairtrade Coffee. Despite the belief that Fairtrade Coffee is a platform that prides itself on providing fair and ethical sourcing, when looking beneath the surface, it seems that more harm than good has occurred through the implication of unethical business tactics and policies. In episode 3 of this series, I will be giving an in-depth discussion on social issues covering the specific ways the platform of fair trade illustrates these actions. Topics such as finances, labor, and even education will be explored. The reason behind this is because as we get deeper into the series, you'll begin to notice the very premise that fair trade was founded upon and its deep contrast in the present day. With this, our group has decided to state the claim that Fairtrade Coffee overall is an unethical organization. On this channel, our group will discuss how and the underlying issues that need to be resolved to earn the image it presents.
Hi, my name is Noah Coronado, and this video series will begin with an overview of fair trade. The idea that trade should be fair first came about with the start of globalization centuries ago during the time of European exploration and imperialism. However, fair trade did not significantly develop and come into vogue until the late 20th century. Organizationally, fair trade first took shape in the Netherlands with an organization called Max Havelaar, named after a Dutch character who vehemently opposed the exploitation by Dutch colonists of farmers and local peoples centuries ago in the East Indies, now known as Southeast Asia. This exploitation involved the growing of coffee, but was primarily focused on the growing of spices and tea, which the Dutch East India Company was known for. Over time, as colonial empires and mercantilism fell to capitalism, more countries and companies became involved in the global trade for goods. During the 18th and 19th centuries, social movements took hold in Europe, bringing more awareness to workers' rights and the treatment of workers in general. This movement grew over the next century, coinciding with neoliberalism's spread in North America and Europe. Following Max Havelaar and similar groups in Europe, the organization called Fair Trade International was founded in 1997 in Germany to coalesce the individual nations and actors involved in the fair trade movement. Associated with this international organization was Fair Trade USA, a now independent organization which I will be analyzing further in the next episode.
Hey, my name is Josh, and my main point in our final project is that fair trade uses virtue signaling in order to gather support and cover up when they are unethical. Anytime you look up fair trade or see them in the media or on stores, it's always about them bragging about how good they treat workers or how they are sustainable or how they're the good guys. However, I will prove that they are only appealing to popular opinion because they are smart enough to know that it works. When people see a brand that supports what seems to be a good causes or things they personally believe in, they tend to support the brand. Knowing this, Fairtrade Coffee appeals to these beliefs to gather support and positive media representation despite a long line of unethical practices. My most major point is how they are overcharging for coffee and fees, but give themselves a reputation of a brand that is ending labor malpractice. Meanwhile, they bombard those involved, including farmers, with unnecessary fees. No one ever talks about their scams, though, because every other week they pay one of their workers to stand on a farm and talk about how great it is. I will conclude with wrapping up this point. I will ask the listener how a company can truly be everything it says to be to the public if it mistreats those that support it with unfair prices and those they are claiming to help with unfair fees.
Hi, my name is Holly, and in my concluding episode, I will be discussing alternatives and specific instances when fair trade has failed to meet their regulations, as well as a special interview segment where I talk to a local ethical coffee shop. I knew I wanted to do this segment of the project because I knew it was important to find alternative ways to still support those in need while fair trade addresses the issues their company has. I was also very interested in researching these alternatives because they not only help inform those who are listening, but myself as well. Finding more specific instances where the company failed to meet their standards was also very interesting for me. As we are in the corporate world and seeing as this is a very vast business, these cases can get swept under the rug. Finding these in studies and papers was very exciting and helped me learn a lot more about the history of this company. And lastly, I was very excited to conduct an interview with a local coffee shop regarding our topic. The process of finding a business to interview was slightly challenging. Right off the bat, I was concerned that it would be difficult to talk with a business about fair trade because it can be a touchy subject. A business that knows about fair trade would likely be aware of some of the issues we would be discussing, and my main concern was that we wouldn't even been given an opportunity to conduct the interview because of that. Thankfully, I heard back from Ashley, one of the managers at a local coffee shop called Coffee Times. She provided me with great information and actually discussed some of the shop's own alternatives to fair trade as well. Hope you enjoy!